Imagine walking into a store to buy a new phone. You pick it up, check the price, and hand over your money. Simple, right? But what if I told you that this simple purchase has become a battlefield between the two most powerful nations on Earth? That phone in your hand is caught in the middle of an economic war that could change everything about how you live, work, and shop. Right now, in 2025, the United States and China are locked in the most dangerous economic battle in modern history. It's not fought with guns or missiles, but with tariffs, technology bans, and trillion-dollar trade restrictions. This isn't just about politicians or corporations. It's about your job security, the prices you pay, and whether your children will find work in the future. To understand why America and China are fighting, think of it like two neighbors on the same street. For years, they got along fine. America was the richest house on the block. China was poor, but worked incredibly hard. America even helped China get richer by buying lots of things from them. But here's where the story gets interesting. Between 1980 and 2020, China went from being one of the poorest countries to becoming the world's second largest economy. That's like going from a small apartment to owning a mansion in just 40 years. How did they do it? China became the world's factory. That phone, your clothes, your TV, chances are they were made in China. American companies love this because Chinese workers cost much less. A factory worker in Ohio might earn $25 per hour, while a Chinese worker earned $3 per hour. For American shoppers, this was fantastic. Prices dropped. But for American factory workers, this was a nightmare. Between 2001 and 2018, America lost about 5 million manufacturing jobs. Places like Detroit became ghost towns. By 2016, millions of Americans were angry. They felt forgotten. This anger helped elect Donald Trump, who promised to bring back American jobs and get tough on China. But here's the twist. While America was losing factory jobs, China wasn't just making cheap toys anymore. They were becoming technological powerhouses. China started making smartphones rivaling Apple. They built super-fast trains. They created TikTok. They poured hundreds of billions into artificial intelligence and quantum computing. American leaders panicked. For 75 years, America had been the world's technological leader. But now China was catching up fast, even pulling ahead in some areas. By 2020, China had more 5G base stations than the rest of the world combined. They controlled most rare earth minerals needed for electronics. American politicians from both parties agreed China was no longer a partner. China was now a threat. Before we go deeper, you need to understand how countries fight economic wars. Think of it like chess. Each side has different weapons. Weapon number 1, tariffs. A tariff is a tax on imports. Imagine you're selling lemonade for $1 per cup. Your neighbor's kid sells it for 50 cents. You're losing customers. So your parents tell everyone, if you buy from the neighbor's kid, pay us an extra 75 cents tax. Now that 50-cent lemonade costs $1.25. Your $1 lemonade looks better. That's what tariffs do. The goal? Protect American businesses. But tariffs also make prices go up for consumers. Weapon number 2, sanctions. When America sanctions a Chinese company, American businesses cannot trade with that company. In 2019, America sanctioned Huawei, China's biggest tech company. Huawei couldn't use American technology or chips. This devastated them. Their smartphone market share collapsed. For China, this was personal. Huawei represented Chinese innovation and success. Weapon number 3, subsidies. China pours billions into industries they want to dominate. Solar panels, China subsidized their companies until they were cheapest. By 2020, China controlled 70% of global solar panel production. Electric vehicles? In 2024, BYD sold more EVs than Tesla. America complained this wasn't fair. China responded, didn't you subsidize your aerospace industry and farmers? Weapon number 4, technology restrictions. In 2022 and 2023, America banned selling advanced computer chips to China. These chips are essential for AI, weapons, and manufacturing. America feared China would use them to build better weapons and surveillance systems. China vowed to develop its own chips, calling it national survival. History shows us how dangerous this is. During the Great Depression, countries protected their industries with massive tariffs. World trade fell 65% between 1929 and 1934. This helped create conditions leading to World War II. The lesson? When countries stop trading, they see each other as enemies. Economic warfare can lead to real warfare. In the 1980 seconds, Japan scared America just like China does today. In 1985, America pressured Japan into the Plaza Accord, making Japan's currency expensive. Japan's growth slowed dramatically, entering the lost decades. China watched and vowed not to make Japan's mistakes. So how did we get here? On the 6th of July 2018, America imposed 25% tariffs on $34 billion of Chinese goods. China retaliated immediately. Both sides kept escalating. Eventually, America had tariffs on over $360 billion of Chinese goods. China had tariffs on $110 billion of American goods. Everyone got hurt. American farmers couldn't sell soybeans to China. Chinese manufacturers lost American orders. Prices rose everywhere. In May 2019, America banned American companies from selling technology to Huawei, claiming spy risks. The ban devastated Huawei. Chinese leaders vowed revenge and doubled down on technological independence. When COVID-19 struck in 2020, the world discovered something terrifying. We depended on China for critical supplies. Face masks, medical equipment, pharmaceutical ingredients, all made in China. When China's factories shut down, the world ran out of supplies. Politicians said, "We cannot depend on China. We need to bring manufacturing home." In October 2022, Biden dropped an economic bomb. He banned American companies from selling advanced chips to China. American citizens couldn't even work for Chinese chip companies without permission. Why? Because these chips are the foundation of everything modern. America's goal: keep China technologically behind. China's response: invest whatever it takes to develop their own chips. By 2024, TikTok had 170 million American users. But politicians saw a threat. TikTok is owned by ByteDance, a Chinese company. Under Chinese law, companies must share data with the government if requested. In 2024, America passed a law requiring ByteDance to sell TikTok or face a ban. China refused, calling it technological robbery. Young Americans were suddenly caught in a geopolitical fight they didn't ask for. Here's something that should wake you up. You've already been paying for this war. Those tariffs added $200 to $1,000 per year to the average American household between 2018 and 2023. That laptop cost you $50 to $100 more. Studies show that for every job saved by tariffs, American consumers paid about $817,000 in extra costs. We spent nearly $1 million to save a single job paying $50,000 per year. But the economic war is about to get even more expensive. And this time, it's about your entire future. Let's talk about what's really at stake: technological supremacy. Whoever controls cutting-edge technology controls the world's economy and military power. Think about how much power the internet gave America. Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple became worth trillions. They shaped how people thought and shopped. China decided, we will not let American companies dominate our internet. That's why Facebook and Google are blocked in China. China created Alibaba, WeChat, and Baidu. These alternatives became huge with hundreds of millions of users. Now the biggest battle is over artificial intelligence. AI will change everything. AI can diagnose diseases better than doctors, drive cars better than humans, and analyze data faster than thousands of people. Whoever leads in AI dominates the 21st century. America currently leads. OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft are at the forefront. But China is catching up fast, investing over $150 billion. Here's where it gets scary. AI is dual-use technology. The same AI helping farmers can help militaries find targets. The same AI recommending movies can identify political dissidents. Both countries are pouring money into AI while preventing the other from accessing the best chips and software. It's an arms race with algorithms. Then there's quantum computing. When it works, it'll make today's supercomputers look like Stone Age tools. Quantum computers could break all of today's encryption in seconds. All passwords, bank security, military communications, everything we think is safe could be cracked. Both countries are racing to build quantum computers, spending billions. In the wrong hands, quantum computers could let one country spy on everyone's secrets and dominate digital infrastructure. Here's what makes this dangerous. It's forcing every country to pick sides. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and Australia are military allies with America, but their biggest trading partner is China. They depend on American protection but Chinese customers. Imagine having two best friends who hate each other, both demanding you choose. Then there's Taiwan, the island that could trigger World War III. Taiwan is about the size of Maryland with 24 million people. But Taiwan's TSMC makes 90% of the world's most advanced computer chips. Almost every smartphone, computer, and weapon system needs these chips. If something happened to Taiwan, the global economy would crash immediately. Here's the problem. China claims Taiwan is part of China and vows to reunify by force if necessary. America says it would defend Taiwan. If war breaks out, it would be economic catastrophe. Global trade stops, supply chains collapse. American military analysts think if China invades Taiwan, it would happen between 2025 and 2030. We're in the danger zone right now. There's another quiet war, the battle over which currency dominates global trade. For 75 years, the U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency. This gives America enormous power. China hates this and is slowly getting countries to trade using yuan instead. They're building SIPs to rival the dollar system and signing agreements with Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Brazil. If China succeeds, it would be one of the biggest power shifts in history. Here's what keeps strategists awake: escalation spirals. Every action demands a reaction. Every reaction triggers a counter-reaction. In late 2024, American chip restrictions got tighter. China responded by restricting rare earth mineral exports. China controls 70% of global production. Without these materials, American companies can't make products. Both are suffering. Neither wants to back down. Politicians are discussing forcing Chinese companies off American stock exchanges. If this happens, investors could lose billions. The financial system intertwined for 40 years would be ripped apart. While everyone focuses on Earth, a competition is happening in space. China built its own space station, landed rovers on Mars, and plans a lunar base by 2030. Why does this matter? Space is the ultimate high ground. Satellites control GPS, communications, and military intelligence. Both countries are developing anti-satellite weapons. If war breaks out, the first battle might be in orbit. Imagine GPS stops working. Your phone can't find directions. Ships can't navigate. Airplanes can't fly safely. Credit cards don't process. That's what a space war looks like. Let's get honest about what this means for you. Tariffs are making everything more expensive. A 2024 study found American families pay about $1,300 more per year due to trade war prices. Your job is less stable. American farmers lost Chinese customers. Farm bankruptcies jumped 20% between 2018 and 2020. Scientific progress suffers when researchers can't collaborate. Chinese scientists publish more papers than any country. American researchers are most cited. When they can't work together, everyone loses. Cancer research collaborations now require government approval, taking months. How many lives could have been saved? Climate change research and pandemic preparedness suffer too. Global problems require global cooperation, but nationalism pulls us apart. Your investments are exposed to this war. When tensions escalate, markets panic. Your retirement savings are hostage to government relationships. In 2018 and 2019, the stock market would swing 2 to 3% in a day based on Trump's tweets. TikTok is just the beginning. More products will be banned. This means less variety, higher prices, and inferior products for everyone. Businesses hate this war. Apple, Nike, and Walmart depend on Chinese manufacturing and customers. But politicians ignore them because anti-China positions are politically popular. Economists say everybody loses in trade wars. They warn this could end like the 1,930 seconds, Great Depression and World War. But politicians ignore warnings because appearing tough wins votes. Military leaders on both sides are terrified. American generals who would fight China don't want that war. They know it would be catastrophic. Chinese military leaders feel the same. But as economic warfare intensifies, it increases war risk. When countries stop trading, they stop talking. A single miscalculation could trigger catastrophe. So where does this lead? 3 scenarios. Future 1, Cold War 2. Most likely, the world splits into 2 economic blocks. Minimal trade between them. 2 separate internets. More expensive, less innovative, divided world. But nobody uses nuclear weapons. Not good, but not the worst. Future 2, Hot War. Pray this doesn't happen. The economic war becomes actual war over Taiwan. Even without nuclear weapons, millions die. Global economy crashes worse than 1,929. Trade stops entirely. No smartphones, cars, medicine, food shortages. And if nuclear weapons get used, casualties hit tens of millions. Most leaders want to avoid this. But so did leaders in 1914, and World War I happened anyway. Future 3, Grand bargain. Least likely but best outcome. Leaders realize confrontation hurts everyone. They negotiate fair competition rules. They create joint ventures on climate change and pandemic prevention, falling prices, increasing innovation, connected world. This is the future everyone should want. It's achievable. All it requires is leaders prioritizing citizens over nationalism. The problem? Leaders advocating cooperation get attacked as weak. Nationalism is popular, so this is the best future but least likely. What can you do? More than you think. Educate yourself and others. When you understand real costs, you're immune to simplistic rhetoric. Share information. Support businesses and politicians seeking balance. Vote with your wallet and ballot for cooperation over confrontation. Build people-to-people connections. Every friendship between Americans and Chinese is resistance against division. Learn about other cultures. Don't let propaganda convince you ordinary people are enemies. They're not. Personal connections defeat nationalist propaganda. Speak up. Use social media. Write representatives. Tell politicians you don't support conflict policies. Your voice matters more than you think. Here's the truth. Neither country is hero or villain. Both have legitimate interests and grievances. Both made mistakes. The tragedy is there's a better path. Cooperation would make both countries richer, safer, more innovative. Technologies developed together could benefit all humanity, but cooperation requires trust, humility, and wisdom, qualities in short supply. What happens next depends on leaders, but also ordinary people like you. This economic war isn't inevitable. It's a choice made daily. Different choices create different outcomes. That phone you picked up, it was made possible by American innovation, Chinese manufacturing, Japanese components, Korean displays, and African minerals. It represents what humanity achieves working together. The economic war threatens to end this cooperation. Whether that happens is up to all of us. Choose wisely, choose peace, choose cooperation over conflict. The future is watching. You now know more about this war than most people. You understand stakes, costs, and choices. Don't let this knowledge sit idle. Share this information. Make informed choices. Don't give in to fear or hatred. Your enemies aren't workers in Chinese factories or American farms. Your enemies are policies pitting ordinary people against each other. We have more in common than what divides us. We all want safe communities, good jobs, healthy families, and hopeful futures. This economic war is the most important geopolitical story of our time, but it's not written by fate. It's written by human choices. You have a role in how this ends. Make it a good ending. The world is counting on us. Thanks for watching. Understanding the world is the first step to changing it.